WPTV, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Pierce. Now, live from your news leader, this is Action 5 News at 6.
Good evening and Merry Christmas. I'm Tom Dunn.
And I'm Denise Jakehouse. Jim Sackett and Laurel Sauer are off tonight.
Making news on this holiday, the cold weather continues its grip on South Florida, causing concern for citrus growers.
A consumer report on how to get the most for your time and money when returning those holiday gifts.
And meet a woman who gave her daughter the gift of life for Christmas.
Topping the news tonight, Christmas in the Sunshine State feels like the North. The record-shattering cold is putting a huge drain on South Florida's electrical power supply. Chances are the lights have been out at your house at least once in the past 2 days. Action 5 Steve Craig tells us emergency crews are working overtime to make this a bright Christmas for everyone.
Many farmers and citrus growers were up early this morning not to check the gifts under their Christmas tree, but to survey the damage to their crops. On the Treasure Coast, Mark Kaler tells us there were losses, but it could have been worse.
Roger Remelis estimates the size of his nursery at about 750,000 plants. Virtually all of them are likely to die if exposed to sub-freezing air for too long. So he's been spraying them with water for 2 days. The idea is to cover every part of the plant with ice, a scientific guarantee that 32 degrees will be the coldest it gets here.
We're going to fare pretty well with this freeze since we've had the water running the way we have. But it's probably going to take some months to determine the true extent of the damage.
Some vegetable farmers lost their entire crops. This plot near Stewart appears devastated by the cold. Shriveled leaves and darkened coloring are signs of death. Few in the industry have seen such damage so early in the season.
We shouldn't be expecting this kind of weather this time of the year, but we certainly got it.
The region's huge citrus industry appears to have fared a bit better. Initial reports from growers indicate good conditions in Palm Beach and Martin counties. St. Lucie reports spotty damage in the so-called cold pockets, low-lying areas where the mercury drops a few degrees lower. Indian River County also reports spotty damage among thin zipper skins and other oranges. Grapefruit have thicker skins. Damage to them is reportedly slight.
During the next few days, inspectors will be looking for ice crystals inside the fruit. Now, the insides of these grapefruit appear to be fine, but even fruit with marginal damage can go to market. Weather conditions, though, will have to be favorable.
A gradual warming trend is needed. Too rapid a warming can cause rotting, and another freeze kills the weakened fruit. Fortunately, the forecast does call for cold but slightly warmer temperatures through the week. In Palm City, Mark Kaler, Action 5 News.
Mark tells us that marginally damaged fruit on the tree could appear normal. It'll take a month, though, for USDA inspectors to have a more accurate idea on the amount of damage this week. South Florida farmers spent this Christmas Day trying to recover from some of their devastating losses. Fruit and vegetable growers working through the night, pulling up a useless harvest of frozen crops. One farmer in West Lake Worth says he's lost $500,000 over the past 2 nights and days. The freezing temperatures have taken everything but strawberry crops. They are able to withstand the freeze. Vegetable growers will begin replanting tomorrow. They say the faster they get the new crop started, the faster they can make up for those huge losses.
Of course, the real cold weather concern isn't about crops, but about people. And tonight, emergency shelters in Palm Beach County are open again to help protect the homeless from the frigid temperatures. This Westgate facility helped shelter about 70 people last night, and officials expect it to be full again tonight as well.
We have 2 shelters open. The Red Cross has this shelter and our Fern Street headquarters open also, which can accommodate another 50 or 60 people. So we can accommodate about 120 people between the 2 shelters tonight.
The Westgate shelter is an overflow center that helps out when the Salvation Army is full. Officials say it's been years since they've had to open the cold weather shelters to house the homeless. A little earlier in our broadcast, we told you about the power problems that are the result of our frigid temperatures. Steve Craig now tells us how some crews are trying to make sure this is indeed a bright Christmas for everyone.
FP&L has been pulling the plug on purpose, neighborhood by neighborhood, 20 minutes at a time, in order to ration power. On top of demand being way up because of all the electric heaters going, The supply of power has been cut short by a surprise breakdown at one power plant and by scheduled maintenance on other generating stations.
Normally, we project that during the winter months is when we have less demand on the system. We didn't expect to have the cold temperatures come in here, and when you've already got the units down for maintenance, you just can't put them back together. It's not like a quick puzzle.
Rationing hours are 5 to 11:30 at night and in the morning. So those rotating intentional blackouts ended for the time being at 11:30 this morning. But that didn't do anything to restore power here to the south side of Hurricane Drive in Lantana, one of the many neighborhoods where power demand was simply more than the electrical equipment on the pole could handle. The bottom wire leading from this transformer apparently got too hot and came loose around 3 a.m. At one point it was sparking so that firemen were called in to keep watch.
You got that house, this house, probably that house too.
Houses where Christmas lights were dark, Christmas dinners uncooked.
We have small children. They haven't been able to have a proper breakfast, no bath, no nothing. Our pumps, we're on a well system. If the pumps burnt up, FP&L is going to replace them. I don't know what else to say. It's not a very Merry Christmas.
I called FP&L about the power problem at about 8:15 this morning. They said they'd have somebody out hopefully within 3 hours.
But it was more like 6 hours before a crew could get here because there were so many equipment failures everywhere. FP&L says the trouble is electric heat uses 3 times the power of air conditioning, and it simply isn't practical to put in extra heavy-duty equipment to handle these very rare, high-demand days and nights.
Basically 98% of the time we get by with what we had, but when you have a situation like this, utilities across the nation are facing the same problem.
To help solve the problem, the electric company is asking everyone to hold off on doing laundry and to keep thermostats at 65 so that the power available will be enough to go around. In Lantana, Steve Craig, Action 5 News.
Thank you, Steve. Florida Power and Light officials are asking customers who are experiencing blackouts of less than 1/2 hour not to call the utility. That's because it ties up the lines for people who have true power outages. Well, it isn't just the power that's causing problems for South Floridians on this Christmas. An electrical outage has led to a boil water notice. This West Palm Beach power plant lost power completely during an outage. Officials say the resulting pressure drop at the plant increases the chances of contamination. If you live in West Palm Beach, South Palm Beach, or Palm Beach, you should boil your drinking water until you hear that the order has been lifted.
Still ahead on Action 5 News, a touching story of a mother's love for her daughter.
But first, find out how to make the best of your holiday gift returns.
Burdine's after Christmas sale and clearance. Take an additional 40% off. Already reduced. Women's and juniors fashions. With a purple, yellow, and orange striped ticket. Starts tomorrow. 9 a.m. at Burdine's. Why wait till next year?
If you're going to buy a truck, if you want cash back for your down payment.
These are Chevrolet's last great deals of this decade.
At Steve Moore Chevrolet Geo.
You're in new 1990 S10 pickup trucks with $1,000 cash back.
He gave me the best deal on the vehicle, any place in town or outside of town.
New 1990 S10 Blazer, $1,250 cash back.
At the all-new Steve Moore Chevrolet Geo.
Unless you're backing up, hurry.
With Eckerd Ultra Lab 35, you get the best 35mm prints, sleeved negatives, a portfolio case, and one great big extra, prints, 30% larger.
Eckerd Ultra Lab 35. Nothing looks better.
I hate it when this happens. With Eckerd System 2, you not only get the finest photo processing available, you get something twice as good. Twice the prints. One to keep and one to share. Yeah.
Eckerd Photo Processing. Nothing looks better.
I think I'm putting on weight. No, I'm not.
For the last month, most of us have been battling crowds at local malls looking for that perfect gift. We usually have a pretty good idea of what our loved ones like, but we sometimes pick out something that doesn't fit or just isn't right. Now you have to think about fighting the crowds again to return it. Our consumer reporter Kimberly Godwin gives us some tips to make that trip back to the store a little less painful.
Tip number 1, wait a few days before even attempting to return an item. Don't go tomorrow.
Try to stay out of the peak periods. For instance, December 26th will be a very, very busy day. And it will simply be a tough day to get something done quickly.
While you're waiting for return crowds to dwindle, you may want to locate your receipt.
It saves them time, it saves us time, because more than likely we're going to have to go look up a price if a lot of the merchandise we have sold out of. So it'll save them a lot of time, and it'll hurry them in and out.
Even without your receipt, in many stores you can get a refund. But in some places, without a receipt, you can only exchange opened merchandise. If a store doesn't have a special exchange booth, try returning the merchandise to the department from which you bought it. Salespeople there will be familiar with the item and may be able to better help you. You may also want to pick out your exchange item before getting online. You should know if you received a gift from a national chain store, no matter what it is, you can usually exchange it here, even if it came from a faraway city. Remember, returned items cannot be worn or damaged and should be able to be resold. Kimberly Godwin, Action 5 News.
Adding to all that shopping confusion, tomorrow will be extensive after Christmas sales. So Kim says you can find some bargains, but you'll have to be willing to battle the crowds to get the good deals.
I think we would all stand in line if we could exchange this weather. Because of the electrical power problems this holiday season, a lot of people are firing up propane-fueled heaters. And as a result, business has been brisk for places that refill propane cylinders. At this West Palm Beach service station, bottled gas sales topped $600 in the past 24 hours.
People, I think, were taken surprise this Christmas how cold the weather did get in a short time.
So they've got these
Heating even a mobile home takes at least one small tank of propane every 36 hours.
Still ahead on Action 5 News, unwrapping a gift that lasts a lifetime.
But first, a hometown holiday message from Korea to South Florida.
Hi, I'm Specialist Michael Leatherman, stationed on the DMZ Panmunjom Joint Security Area of South Korea. I'd like to extend a season's greetings to all my family and friends in West Palm Beach, Florida. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
This holiday season, please drive with care. The best to you and your family from Amoco.
There's a company that more people have invested in than in IBM, GE, and Ford combined. Its assets are greater than AT&T's, and no one's ever lost a penny they put into it. But you don't have to go to Wall Street to find this company. You simply have to go to Main Street. Savings of America, America's largest savings institution.
It's big, it's now. It's Pontiac's all-out excitement closeout. Now with our longest-term 4.8% finance rate ever on Grand Prix. That's right. Now every new Grand Prix is available with long-term 4.8% financing. Or get your share of millions in cash back on Grand Prix and almost every other new 1990 Pontiac in stock. But hurry, your Pontiac dealer is closing out the year with big cash back or 4.8% financing on Grand Prix. It won't last long. See your Pontiac excitement dealer now.
Christmas Day is a time for sharing and for giving of the heart.
Sure is, Denise. But one family is celebrating tonight because of the greatest gift of all. It was Christmas Day when a present like this one was received. The mother who gave the gift of life is this week's Kelly's heroine.
And what's the vent settings on him? IMV of 8. And what's his FiO2?
JFK Hospital critical care nurse Kelly Stanley has been through more than many of her patients endure in a lifetime. When she was 10 years old, she was diagnosed with a terminal kidney disease. Her mother, Marie, who's an administrator at JFK, donated one of her kidneys so her daughter could live. Unfortunately, that organ was rejected by Kelly's body. It took 10 years for another suitable donor to be found. The second operation was performed on Christmas Day, 1979.
It gives you a different priority system in your life. Materialistic things aren't real important, you know.
It's hard to imagine living through 20 major surgeries, 7 years of dialysis, and 2 transplants. But strength is a Stanley family characteristic.
You can either choose to let whatever happened to you defeat you, or you can choose to take it and attempt to use it as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block.
Kelly chose to survive.
I really respect life because you don't know how long it's going to be. And that's a real reality, you know.
Many doctors predicted Kelly wouldn't be alive today, but she's a fighter and is an inspiration to hundreds of people.
She definitely has a purpose. We all do. And hers, as I see it, is to be a pace setter for others, to help show that not to be afraid.
But Kelly insists her mother deserves much of the credit.
God, I could cry. Just that my whole life revolves around what she's done for me without obligation, which I think is so special. People don't get a chance to really say how much they love people, and I think that word sometimes is used without the true understanding of it. The true understanding of it and the true meaning is to give without any regard for self. And my mother giving a kidney to me certainly proved that to be true.
Kelly and Marie Stanley are this week's Kelly's Heroines.
Tonight, a young Liberty City boy is also celebrating a second chance at life. For 11-year-old Alex Wilson, the best presents were not under the tree. He's thankful for his miraculous recovery. 1 month ago, Alex was hit by a stray bullet and was left paralyzed from the neck down. Now he's able to move his arms, and he's vowing to gain the strength to walk again. His reprieve from intensive physical training was for just 1 day, but he says this has been his best Christmas ever.
The Christmas cold is not over yet.
Meteorologist Art Horn will let us know how long the chill will last with his forecast next from Stuart, Boca Raton, and all of South Florida.
NBC's Christmas night gift to you, the award-winning movie for the whole family, The Sound of Music, Monday.
Time is a precious thing. January 1st, your used car becomes worth a lot less money. Your nearest Buick dealer will give you a great deal on a great car right now. LeSabre, according to the J.D. Power Initial Quality Survey, the most trouble-free American car. The luxurious Riviera, Regal, Century, or the affordable, beautiful Skylark. Buy now, get giant cashback or low financing. See your nearest Florida Buick dealer before time runs out.
Wendell! Great. What you are looking at is the brain food that will make me the Jeopardy champ. Eating this stuff is like doing 10,000 brain-ups.
Brain-ups?
Yeah, sit-ups for the brain.
The reason that you lose at Jeopardy, my darling, is because you panic. Now, you've got 20 minutes. Relax, stay calm, and try to forget that you have never beaten me at Jeopardy ever.
Jeopardy, the most fun you can have with your brain.
Join the fun. Watch Jeopardy only on TV5.
I want to be a doctor.
Baseball player. I want to be a teacher.
An architect.
A lawyer, just like my dad.
Whatever your child dreams of becoming,
The president.
Florida's prepaid college program can guarantee that the rising cost of college won't get in the way. But act now, because after January 12th, this offer ends. And maybe some dreams will, too.
I like to be a horse.
Art Horn holds the American Meteorological Society seal of approval.
Well, we see some light at the end of the tunnel, as they used to say, as far as this first cold snap. There'll probably be another one sometime later in the winter, right?
Well, considering how early and strong this one was, let's hope that the ones that come later are not as strong as this. One of the greatest and earliest cold waves the area has ever experienced is now beginning to somewhat wind down, but it is going to be another chilly night tonight. 51 degrees last hour, 49 now, 39% humidity, barometer steady, the wind out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. It was another unusually cold day today, just 55. The normal high is 76, and a record-breaking low of 28 this morning for the second morning in a row, 28 degrees, and that 28 is again tying the all-time December low temperature, which we set, of course, just yesterday. It broke the record low of 35 degrees. Now, a high at 6:34 tomorrow morning is when we could see some more serious beach erosion from the very large surf. The water temperature down to 68 degrees and the sun rising at 7:07. And we take a look at Palm Beach today. I thought this was Hawaii. No, this is Palm Beach today. Some tremendous surf, great surfing conditions if you could get out there. Trying to paddle through that stuff is one thing. Massive seas pounding into the coast from a very strong low-pressure area, which was off of Cape Hatteras yesterday. And north at Jupiter Inlet Park, we had some major beach erosion during the afternoon hours. This has been going on now for several years, but it really got bad today. We had reports of some picnic tables, not picnickers, but picnic tables and trees going into the water there. And again, there's going to be that problem later on tonight and particularly tomorrow morning at the time of high tide. This is a satellite photograph from yesterday. That storm was wound up so tight it almost had an eye to it. It was like a winter hurricane off of Hatteras yesterday, produced heavy snow out here, and it brought the very cold air into South Florida. We have seas running anywhere from 8 to 12 feet, 5 to 10 feet down towards Boca at the beaches. There is nobody allowed in the water today, and likely nobody will be allowed to go swimming during the day tomorrow either, because conditions are going to be kind of rough. 47 with a light northwest wind at Vero Beach right now. It is 49 at Okeechobee, 51 at Clewiston, and 48 at Belle Glade. At the National Weather Service, 49 degrees with a west wind. Expecting about 34 for a low in West Palm tonight, freezing at Vero Beach, but all throughout this region, we could have a touch of frost tonight, especially if the wind stays light. Sunny skies tomorrow, temperatures not very high, 59 Vero, 62 at West Palm Beach. We'll have a northwest to westerly wind at 12 to 24 miles per hour. So that wind really blowing offshore tomorrow, and seas still very rough, very dangerous beach conditions. Be careful if you're going to even attempt to go to an unguarded beach during the day tomorrow. The reason the cold snap hanging on is the jet stream continues to flow down over us. That's going to give continued cool temperatures to very cold in the Great Lakes during the day tomorrow, and a little snowstorm moving through the northeastern part of the country. So here it is for tonight. Clear and cold again, 31 to 37 degrees, and a northwest to westerly wind at 8 to 16 miles an hour, adding some wind chill. Sunny, breezy, and cool tomorrow. Again, the normal high is 76, but just 59 to 64 tomorrow. A westerly wind at 12 to 24 miles an hour. On Sunday, a sunny day, cool, up to 64, a morning low of 38. And on Thursday, sunny and downright balmy, 69 and to 48 for a low temperature west wind at 8 to 14 knots. And again, seas 6 to 10 at the beaches tomorrow, 8 to 14 feet in the Gulf Stream. Be very careful if you go to an unguarded beach. That surf is very strong.
How long will this surf continue like this?
I wouldn't think it'd be more than a day, day and a half. It's got to start to die off after that because the storm moved away rapidly.
Great. See you at 11.
Okay,
all right. Thank you.
Coming up next in sports, the college bowl season starts cranking up, and the Dolphins begin their unwanted vacation till next year. Bob Lorenz is up next.
Now, for a limited time, get a guaranteed rebate at your Jeep and Eagle dealer. If the rebate increases on your eligible vehicle after January 31st, you'll get a check for the difference from the Chrysler Corporation. No other car company has ever done that. The guaranteed rebate. Offer ends soon.
See your Florida Jeep Eagle dealers.
Here's to the sunrise. Here's to the evening when it's a taste of the good life. This is living as good as it gets. Our vibrant broken sound. It's where you wanna be. A life of excitement. It's everything you dream. Our vibrant broken sound. It's where you wanna be.
Your motto at St. Andrews, Boca Raton.
You can decorate your whole house at Marshall's if you wanted to. I can get my sheets, my domestics, towels, linens. It's not just a store, it's a store with everything.
Marshall's Bath and Bed Extravaganza means beautiful savings like these luxurious bath towels, $3.99, and your favorite comforters, all sizes, $19.99, and the dreamiest pillows, all sizes, $4.99. Marshall's, the first name in brand names for less.
It makes me feel even better when I sleep at night knowing how much money I saved.
Bob Lorenz is sitting in for Pat Murphy on this Christmas Day, and a lot of speculation about what this gentleman is going to do.
Yeah.
But we have some clues tonight.
I think we'll know a little better probably Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Most likely Friday.
After the game.
It appears the University of Florida football team might be getting the most precious Christmas gift of all, a new head coach, Steve Spurrier of Duke. It's being reported that Spurrier told his assistant coaches he's leaving the Blue Devils to coach the Gators. Spurrier today denied the report, but Duke Athletic Director Tom Butters said he believes Spurrier is leaning towards taking the job. Spurrier added his only concern right now is preparing Duke for Thursday's All-American game against Texas Tech. The Miami Dolphins began their winter vacation yesterday afternoon following their 27-24 loss to Kansas City. The loss eliminated all playoff hopes. The two teams traded the lead in the first half. Steve DeBerg and Stephon Page get together, and that tied the game at 7. Miami's defense, though, couldn't put the brakes on Christian Okoye. He tallied 96 yards and finished as the NFL's leading rusher. Fourth quarter, Miami rallied as they've had to do often this season. Dan Marino, 339 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. This one, Mark Clayton tied the game at 24. But with less than 2 minutes, Nick Lowry drilled a 41-yard field goal, and Kansas City regained the lead. Miami had one last drive going, but on 4th and 10, this pass will slip out of Mark Clayton's hands. The Dolphins' season ends on a losing note, 27-24. They finish 8-8.
You know, we did good at times, and then like in the second quarter, our defense just fell apart there. They got 3 touchdowns, but offense really did a commendable job, to tell you the truth. They did a great job. Scored every time they touched the ball, I think. But basically, again, it was a big letdown. I guess the season's been a letdown.
I wish I could stand here and tell you what the answers are as far as being consistent as a team and being consistent as an offense. But I don't know what the answer is as far as that's concerned. I mean, at times we play real well, and other times we don't.
I said it was frustrating. It certainly is. And, you know, right now my heart's down by my stomach. And when I get out of this locker room, I got to start thinking about my family and forget the bad things for now.
With the Dolphins season over, there's some new questions about the team, one attached to John Offerdahl, who was a holdout at the beginning of the season. Some believe the whole affair left a bad taste in his mouth and that he might opt for free agency and leave Miami. But here's what John had to say about that.
So, of course I do. I'm a Dolphin, and forever I want to be back here and I want to be playing. And I've enjoyed the 4 years I've been here. I'd like to win, and I want to make the commitment here to win.
And the final weekends tonight, Cincinnati visits Minnesota, game time 9 o'clock. There are 2 playoff spots riding on the Bengals-Vikings game, and here's the way things look in the NFC. Giants and San Francisco in as divisional winners. Minnesota wins tonight. They're in. They lose. Green Bay goes. Rams and Eagles wild cards. They will play next Sunday at 12:30 in Philadelphia. In the AFC, Buffalo, Cleveland, and Denver are the divisional champs. There we go. Houston a wild card. The other berth will go to Cincinnati if they win tonight. Pittsburgh if they lose. The wild card is second on the schedule next Sunday. Houston will host it if the Steelers go in, but must travel to Cincinnati if the Bengals win tonight. Quickly, let's go to Christmas Day, featuring a pair of bowl games. The Blue-Gray Classic 52nd renewal. Here's a look as the Gray dominated after taking a 10-0 lead. Maryland quarterback Neil O'Donnell to Ricky Prohl of Wake Forest. He legs out a 65-yard gain. Look at the ball he's using. It has 8 fluorescent stripes, a new idea developed by A's owner Charlie Finley. That led to 1 touchdown. This one here gave the Gray a 21-10 lead. They dropped the Blue 28-10. And the other game in the afternoon, Aloha Bowl, Michigan State leads it late in the 4th. They will probably win it.
Bob, thank you very much.
Okay.
Tom.
When Action 5 News continues, a Palm Beach County family celebrates the season by hanging one more stocking.
JCPenney After Christmas Sale. Doors open tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp. Unprecedented savings of 25 to 50% at every department. Don't miss it. JCPenney.
Joey's a valued employee at our law firm. He's conscientious and can be counted on to get a job done. To us, he's pretty special. Joey came to us through the Association for Retarded Citizens Supported Employment Program, a placement and training program for mentally handicapped adults. If your business has a position that would give someone like Joey a chance to prove his worth, call 842-3213. Cersei, Denny, Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley, attorneys at law, taking time to care.
These are Chevrolet's last great deals of this decade.
And this last big sale week, you're in
At Steve Moore's Chevrolet Geo.
year-end cash back up to $1,400.
The price was the lowest from Fort Lauderdale to West Palm.
Buy now. No payment for 90 days.
It was just a really good deal all the way around. We really feel happy about it.
At the all-new Steve Moore's Chevrolet Geo, Lake Worth Road between Military and Jog.
Unless you're backing up, hurry.
Sure, the big out-of-town banks have got to make a profit on my business, right? But my business is local. That's why I changed my bank. Now I have a bank that keeps my money here where it belongs, and that keeps my town and my business stronger. A bank that knows me, that can make a decision now. Best of all, got it right here at home.
We're Flagler National. We love your side. You got a good bank here at home.
Coming up tonight on Action 5 News at 11, we'll continue to update you on the Florida Power and Light story. On their handling of the demand for electricity, we'll show you a serious erosion problem at a Palm Beach County park. Also, Dr. Kim Crawford explains how the holiday season can actually help your state of mind.
And finally tonight, Baby Christmas made an appearance today at a Palm Beach County hospital. Her name is Jessica Michelle. The baby is one of the first born on Christmas Day here in South Florida. Jessica was an early morning present, born at 5:08. Her parents, Sandra and Charles Gersech, are doing fine. It didn't take Palms West Hospital nurses long to dress Jessica up in traditional Christmas newborn garb. At 6 pounds 9 ounces, she's just big enough to fit inside a big red stocking. She looks good.
A Merry Christmas for that.
Sure
family.
is.
That's the news till now. Thanks for joining us.
NBC Nightly News is coming up next.
Good night.